So today I have a catch up in some of my more random growing areas. So look out for my videos on other areas of my garden, such as my Hugelkultur beds, Ruth Stout method beds, and my raised beds and fruit forest and much more. But this is my random area. If you hear noise in the background, it's very early in the morning. It sounds like squeaking, and it's actually the goat machines milking in the farm opposite. So please ignore those. So here is my cucumber that I got from Texas Janet. This is doing really well. I think there's five actual plants now. And as you can see, I've taken them off the table they were on, left them in this drawer. This is when my cucumbers have always gone wrong in the past. I've moved them, transplanted them, so they're staying in there. A little concerned that they're on the ground, so I've put lots of granules from our filtered coffee machine in the bottom, which is why it looks like lovely compost. That's all actually the old coffee grinds, and as I use eggs they will go in there as well, because I'm concerned I've had big damage on my sweet corn, as you well know, from ants. But look, Janet, they're doing well. They've got so many heads. This is the furthest I've ever got with growing cucumber here. And as you can see, oh, there's a snail, let's move him. So as you can see, I've put them on the side of this old cold frame, which I do actually have an idea for using this once these cucumbers are finished. And I've added some of our bamboo, just some odd bits that are no good for anything. Just supported them up the side through the metal so my cucumbers can grow there. Any tips, Janet, you feel you can give me? I'm always concerned about whether I should pierce out tendrils or just leave them. So if you can advise me, seeing as they're from you, I want to do it your way, because I get lots of mixed advice sometimes, which I'm grateful for all ideas, and then I have to make decisions. This is the lavender. This was the other ones you gave me, Janet, the cucumbers, the trailing vine ones. They haven't grown, and I did put a couple of the side of this drawer as well, I believe. So those ones haven't come out. These were the other ones you gave me. And this is all just been moved onto the cold frame now. So that's little lonesome chive. And these ones weren't growing, if you remember, but look, they're suddenly doing well. It's not because I moved them. I've actually been completely keep filling them up with water all the time, keeping those really wet, so that's what they like. And then we've got some rogue plants. You'll call them volunteers, I call them progressors. Whatever situation, wherever they find themselves, they make the best of their lives. So I know you all call them volunteers, but for me, these are my progressors. Doesn't matter where life sent them, they will do their best. And this is where we have the suitcase that was salvaged, and you'll see now it's actually become yellow melons. This is just because I've been eating so many of my melons I've harvested, and I don't want to keep cleaning the seeds, so I just toss some seeds in here. They've taken place. Same with peppers. I believe there's a pepper coming up there. So these will be whatever seeds I just throw in this side. The other side are my big variety of tomatoes, because I wanted to keep these separate. I also have the cat bags are this variety. I see a split in that one though. But this could be because either it's not quite deep enough for them, or ended up with not much compost left to grow in this year. So as you can see, particularly this side is very shallow, so they really need topping right up with compost when I get some more next year. And this is now where I've moved some of my giveaways. So if anyone's out here and they want fig trees, I've always got fig trees. I don't like to destroy or throw away anything that's growing. So I always have fig trees. They're so easy to grow here. I don't even try and grow them. They just pop up out the ground. So I dig them out and put them in pots to give away. Although I do always ask for my pots back because I don't buy pots. So any pots you see have been donated to me. Colin's at my feet, as you may well see the shadow. These are more of the trumpet plants that I grew. This one's gone up this pole that's here. And I do have a place for some of them to go because there's quite a few of them around here. This was my nut tree. Now it actually went down to just the bare twig. There's a trumpet plant in the back of it that doesn't belong. So here, and it is regrowing. Now it could be another seed that was in there because I found some more of them. These seeds I just find random on the ground. And there's no other tree like this around the area, so it's got to be the owls possibly drop them. There's Colin's tail, in case you're interested in seeing Colin's tail. Yes, Colin, thank you very much. So, as I say, it could be another seed. These are browning off, but we've had such heat waves here at the moment. But then, some of you aren't quite aware, they think Cyprus is in Europe with, say, Portugal, Spain, that sort of part of Europe. We're not that area at all. We're the East Mediterranean, the furthest east, and that means we are heading towards Egypt. So you can imagine our heat difference. Portugal this time of year can often have rain and cold. That's completely unheard of here. We don't see rain from about February, sometimes March, if we're unlucky. And then in this region where I live, I don't see rain again till very end of November, if at all. I have been sunburnt quite a few times picking the olives in November. So December, January, February. It does get cold at night. So we have an indoor log fire that heats the whole house. It doesn't reach the whole house, but that's saying how much we don't need total warmth all through the house. So there's another fig tree. Now I did a video with my rabbit cage where I was planting out from my cups the cauliflower, and as you can see it's doing quite well. The ones that aren't growing quite well, if you see that video you'll see I actually balanced the camera on this lid that I'm holding open at the moment. I had it open onto the other side and I balanced this tripod on it because the camera's stuck on this mini tripod and it was bouncing around, so I didn't really push them in deep enough, these ones, which I think why they've gone a little bit not yellowy. They're doing all right, but not as good as the others. So in case you're wondering how those cauliflowers are doing, here they are. And in case you're not aware, any compost or earth you see here is totally made by me. The only place where we have actual earth that was already here for growing was in our patio where I grow my flowers only. And you'll see a lot of stuff doesn't grow too well there. We don't pay out for anything here to grow in. So anyone who says add this, that or the other, if it's available by nature, I have it. If not, I don't. So let's look at the other side. Rabbit cage. These are brilliant for growing in, particularly things like this, because we get the white cabbage butterfly, and they're still around at the moment, along with many dragonflies here, mostly the red varieties we have here. So here nothing much showing. There's a few lavender seeds there that aren't really happening, and the last of the cabbage that I didn't plant out. And you saw me collecting the chard. I did a whole video how you collect chard seeds and the growing stages of chard. And in that video, these are the ones that I planted in the egg container. I've just thrown some water on. As you can see, the reason there's nothing this half, I swooshed the water on. I'm a bit too heavy-handed with that. But it's so hot here, they need a big puddle to survive the day. So they're only little, but they grow really quickly in a few days. This is what you'll see. This was, I think, Yes, just under 2 weeks ago I think I made the video on putting these in, so you can see how they're doing. So very easy to grow. Some of them I did also put in my hugel bed where I already have some chard growing, so if you want to see how they're doing, look at update 18 of the Hugelkultur bed and you'll see the ones that were planted in the Hugelkultur bed on the same day that these were planted here. Where should we go now? Oh, I want to show you this. These are my grapes. I don't know if I've shown you these before. We have proper grapevines here over a big metal frame, and last year I had a really good haul of grapes and I just threw the pips into these and I'd completely forgotten I'd done that. So as you can see, I'd actually planted a pomelo in here, pomelo fruit tree, and there's very likely other things thrown in. Oh, there's another one. Yes, I thought I'll use these for my pomelos that are getting out of hand. So he's in there. And then I was like, oh, I've forgotten about these. Now at the moment this one's growing up the side. I may let it grow round because as long as it doesn't interrupt the lid. And then this one's going this way, but we do have a plan really where I might put these, we'll see. And down here are just random. Most of these are rock roses because I want them elsewhere, so they die right back this time of year. That's why they all look pretty dead. But there's some different colour ones. I only have pink ones on my land naturally growing, and I found these in the wild white ones. So I've tried to pick them and put their roots in, and we'll see if they come up next year. I think that must be a random pepper. And then this is where the chard was. Now I didn't plant any in the ground, but as I say in the video, some might drop. So at the moment I don't see any more coming up there, but we'll see. But that will be slow growing. Here's my giveaways, not the oleander because this was, there's 2 or 3 pots of this here. This is what I had from my video where I show you different ways of growing oleander, and I do need these for another area, so I'm not giving the oleander away. And we've got lots of different plants here, trailing plants. I will keep this one as well because I have a project for that, which I have shown you the pot I'm making on the stick. It's for the chill out area, so look at the video there and you'll see what I want that for. There's some more of the oleander. It was all from the video showing you how to grow oleander. Pomelos, if anyone wants some pomelos, I just waited to see if they grew, and they do, so I don't know how many of those I want to keep. Another pepper plant. We've done very well for peppers this year. I'll go and show you some in a minute. More fig trees, more peppers, olive trees as always. Colin, he's growing very well over there. Oh, and I'll show you this. This was from a video. I like to sort of show you the results. When I show you cutting back chili peppers or pepper plants. And this was the great big one that I chopped back, just to show you how it does grow. So that's an update of that one, because it was hanging over here, which is a little path here I have between the end of this bed, which I have a plan for this bed as well, which is why there's not a lot growing in it at the moment. And then this is down the slope, and this is where all my artichokes are here, and further over here's another bed of them. And then when they die back, and one of my workaways chopped all these away for me, and I now grow 4 o'clock flower, or it has other names. So these flowers are perfect for when we have no artichokes, and they die back when the artichokes come. Let's have a look at another area. Oh, on this patch that I'm going to redesign and rebuild, this is where I just want to show you, I talk about in a video where when broccoli is finished, you actually can just chop back the whole broccoli and new broccoli will grow again. So don't think when you cut them back, oh, you must have a shoot coming out. No, you don't. You just cut back the stem, just sharply, however you want. There's no rule how to do it, which angle to cut out or anything like this. Just cut them off and you'll see you get new growth on your broccoli. So why do I collect seeds? Well, seeds is a currency for me here, and so I share my seeds and I swap seeds for other things. And also if I want to start broccoli in different areas for any reason, such as making sure if there's ever a problem with broccoli, I have broccoli in other areas. It's one of my main food sources. And this is where my sweet corn didn't do very much in the end. The reason for it, yes, I did all the things that people have been asking did I do, such as planted them in the right soil. They were protected from wind. It's only I've cut all the broccoli down here and they all died back. This was an ant plague, and when I say there were ants and they'd climbed up all the stems and got into the pods that were happening where the sweet corn would have grown from. But as you can see, nothing now. So this is how they've been left. All the experts and other people that I've asked have basically said they've never heard of ants infesting before, but there were hundreds of them climbing up all the stems, going into these pods where the sweet corn would have grown from, and just sucking the life out of them, taking everything in them. So if there's anyone new watching that's ever had this problem, I will try sweet corn again, but I will actually do all my ant deterrents. I've got tons of ideas for getting rid of ants. And what I tend to do is if I have solutions for things, 2 or 3 that work, I do all 2 or 3. So I will do my ant solutions. I'll probably make a video for you on all my ant solutions. Had I expected this, then I would have put my ant solutions in place. So I'll do you a video on what I'm going to do. And this was a really good growing area for them. Yes, I healed them up and all the things people say did I do. Yes, I did. So ants were the cause of this problem. So I just thought I'd show you what happened to them. And as I say, they dried out. They were well watered here, exceedingly well watered. So let's move along.